The story of Risk of Rain 2 has become one of the most exciting stories to tell and was created and published on March 28, 2019 by Hopoo Games, now owned by Gearbox. It has quickly become one of the best games I have ever played, and you should play it too. And I don't see myself stopping anytime soon, especially since the next DLC for the game, Seekers of the Storm, is just around the corner. Risk of Rain 2 is unapologetic in how well the game has been built. From its beautiful world building and enemy designs, to its exciting and unique item and gameplay systems, to even the playable characters the game throws your way. Everything has a purpose. You're in for a treat if you have never seen or played this game. So please, sit back and relax, and I hope you enjoy my rant about this masterpiece of a game. Prepare for an exhilarating adventure as we delve into the captivating world of Risk of Rain 2. When we launch the game, we are shown a cutscene. In that cutscene, we are told that a distress beacon has come from the planet. This most likely refers to the survivors of the Contact Light from Risk of Rain 1. They most likely sent a distress call to another ship for help getting off the planet. Although there are signs of them being alive, the distress signal mentions that there are monsters, and they are not afraid to fight. This intro gives us perfect details on why we are coming to this planet. We are there to find the lost survivors of the ones who came before us, and potentially figure out what exactly happened to them for the scanners to go dark. As we prepare to leave the ship, you, the player, can decide on who to send down onto this unknown planet. We can either send down the Commando or the Huntress for our options. From here, we are sent down to the planet in a pod. We'll encounter various things from insect-like creatures and lizard men to stone giants and floating spirits. Also across the ground, there are chests, shops, coin capsules, and many more interactables. From there, we can obtain items and even equipment to defend ourselves from what's to come. Later on, we come to find out that these were the cargo and other necessities from the ship that came before us and got destroyed, scattering all its remains across the planet. After a bit of exploring, we come across something strange. A weird-looking structure that looks like it has horns coming from its sides, and peculiar altars sitting right in the middle. When we go to the altar, the game prompts us to activate Teleporter. When we activate it, a guardian emerges to stop the player from charging the teleporter. Also, at the same time, the monsters from before have become even more aggro and are now coming in waves to stop you. If you are successful in stopping the horde from getting to you, an item comes from the teleporter to reward us. After completing the teleporter event, we have a couple of options. We can either activate the teleporter again to be sent to a random location, or, if you're lucky enough, a blue portal has spawned on the side to the teleporter. But if we go through the blue portal, we are taken to a shop, a bazaar even. In said bazaar, we can exchange a specific currency or the items that we have collected to obtain a new or higher rarity item. To the left and right of the bazaar, we can exchange a lunar coin to purchase either these new items or a specific location when we go back through the portal we came from. A little to the right of that, we can exchange the items we have attained to get higher rarity items. Make sure you have enough and are willing to trade those items in. Lastly, there is a weird looking creature in the middle. Next to him, There looks to be a frozen person from whom we can exchange our lunar coins to set free. When we finish our business there, we can go back through the portal we came from and continue our search for those who came before us. After this point, the rest is up to you to figure out the mystery of the lost survivors. Eventually, you'll figure out what your fate will lead to before the end of the run, whether you win or lose. From our time playing and unlocking these new characters, to the many quests we do to unlock items, there is a bunch of stuff we can do. The game has infinite replayability, and when it comes to overall gameplay, you can mix and match a variety of items that'll make every run feel unique. Let's embark on a journey of discovery as we explore the unique abilities, playstyles, and captivating looks of the 11 playable characters in the base game. The Commando wields a gun in each hand, being able to shoot a volley of bullets and officially maneuver the playing field with his abilities. The Huntress is an agile and fast character who can easily overcome her foes with such precision that she can rain down a volley of arrows upon them. The Bandit is a gunslinger who uses sly and dirty tricks to gain an advantage on unsuspecting enemies. Model T is a formidable robot that can change its strategy at a moment's notice. It can wield 2 weapons and 2 pieces of equipment. The Engineer can either be a stationary powerhouse or a wanderer that can use gadgets and gizmos to protect himself from harm's way. The Artificer uses the elements of the world to take flight and rain hell upon those they encounter. The Mercenary uses a sword and quick reflexes to kill any enemy who stands in his way. Rex is a half robot, half plant that uses its own HP to annihilate any monster that gets in its way. The Loader uses her whole body as a weapon, slamming enemies at such high speed that they can never react. Acrid uses its powerful poisons to melt away the competition and heal themselves. Lastly, the Captain, who uses an arsenal of weapons and calls down attacks and beacons from his ship to help him in his conquest. Although Risk of Rain 2 doesn't offer many difficulty settings, everyone has options. Drizzle is the most player-friendly option. It's relaxing and not too tricky if you are trying to have a fun time. Rainstorm is the game's base default difficulty. It's for those who want to experience the game as it is. Monsoon is there for those who want a more complex challenge but still want to have an enjoyable experience no matter what. And then finally, we have Eclipse, a special kind of game mode that progressively gets harder each time you complete a run. Next up, we'll touch over the items. The base game has 107 items. They range from giving a variety of stats to shooting projectiles and missiles at your enemies. All these items either scale hyperbolically or in a linear path. There are a bunch of unique items, so let's go over them. White or common items are what you'll most likely be picking up throughout your runs. They can give stats and even effects like increasing the player's attack speed or shooting fireworks when you use interactables. Green or uncommon items are a step above the white. Here you'll find items that send out attacks like missiles or electricity. You'll also find items that can make the enemies have a harder time, like Old Guillotine, Death Mark, or Chronobubble. Red or legendary items are on another level. They can give you an extra life, the enemies you kill can turn into your allies, give cooldown reduction and damage to all your abilities or missiles, you name it. All red items have their use, and most are powerful. Yellow or boss items what drop from, well, you know, bosses. They can give the player the ability to strike down lightning on their foes, make enemies take more bleed damage, and explode when they die. or even create an army of minions to fight for you. Blue or lunar items are your sacrificial items. You tried out one of your stats/abilities to rain absolute hell upon your enemies, and maybe yourself sometimes. You can have an item that doubles your damage but halves your overall health, or a combination of items that'll transform you into another being. Maybe you'll have to find out yourself. Lastly, equipment. You can only hold one of these at a time. Still, they all activate a unique ability that can either boost your overall stats, shoot money at them because why not, etc, etc. For those looking to either increase the difficulty of the game, give a challenge for the player to complete, or even give the player extra benefits, these are what you're looking for. There are a total of 16 artifacts to choose from, and you can activate as many of them as you want at a time. They can be obtained by secretly putting in a code in a secret location you have to find on your own. Good luck. Some examples of these are Artifact of Command, choose your items. Artifact of Evolution, monsters gain items between stages. Artifact of Glass, allies deal 500% damage but have 10% health. And Artifact of Honor, enemies can only spawn as elites. The environments of Risk of Rain 2 have been beautifully designed, from the thematic feel to the very detail of the location itself. Every minor detail has its own purpose, from leading the player to a specific walkway, to a monster that enhances the biome, and to the secret paths to hide amongst the stages. Some stages will even hide powerful items for the player to pick up. Stages like Abyssal Depths make the player feel like they just stepped straight into hell, with its use of purples and different shades of red, to even the bare wastelands of the abandoned aqueduct. These stages tell a story visually. There was once an intelligent form of species here, but it has all been lost due to time or possible conflict. If you have ever seen or heard of the effects of Risk of Rain 2, you'll know that care and effort were put into every aspect. Look at the screen quickly and tell me what exactly you think when you hear and see this. Or when you hear this. They make you want to be cautious and attempt to avoid their attacks, which is the whole point. Or even from the players themselves. Take this for example. You can clearly tell that the player has used a move that indicates that it will significantly help the player. Even items and equipment can do this. And visual and audio cues like this help enrich the overall experience of what's being presented. They give the players a sense of hope that they can overcome a situation offered right in front of them. Although music in games is sometimes overlooked as background noise and useless sounds, the soundtrack for both the base game and Survivors of the Void make it clear and concise of its goals. These songs add to the already existing theme that everything is a mystery to you, and it has a spacey feel to it. For example, and the music was beautifully produced, and I'm sorry if I say this wrong, by Chris Christodoulou and the many people that helped him. It has easily become one of my favorite game soundtracks, along with Hollow Knight and the Persona franchise. A few years after the base game was initially released, and after all the free updates that came with it, the next paid chapter of Risk of Rain was finally released on March 1st, 2022, introducing the Survivors of the Void DLC. With this new content pack, a bunch of more content has been released that further excels the dopamine rush that is Risk of Rain 2. Let's go over them real quick. 2 new survivors have joined the crew. The Railgunner is a character who prefers to use a sniper and blast any opponent that attempts to get even close to them. Also, the Void Fiend. Nothing is known about them, just remember that becoming corrupted might lead to dangerous yet fruitful situations. Give in to the void. Five new environments have been added, introducing new enemies, elite types, and interactives. This also introduces a new event that happens to some of your stages. I don't know, maybe clearing them might give you some juicy sweet loot. And finally, those sweet juicy items. In total, there have been 41 new items added to the game. New whites, greens, reds, yellows, blues, and equipments. But most importantly, a new kind of item, purple/void items. These items are unique. Whenever you obtain one of these items, a pre-existing item linked to it will become corrupt, turning it into a void item. For example, when you get the Polyloot, all owned ukuleles will become corrupted and turn into Polyloots. Also included in the DLC is a new alternate game mode called Simulacrum, in which waves of enemies attempt to kill you in a confined space. Gearbox recently announced that a small update to the game will be soon available, bringing in new artifacts and a new stage map, Verdant Falls. Next up is the next paid DLC for the game, Seekers of the Storm. Only a little information has been revealed, but we are getting 6 brand new environments, from what we know. Some existing environments will change when a survivor loops the teleporter, and obviously, so much more of that sweet loot. If you have made it this far into the video, I greatly appreciate you for sticking around to the very end. If you found this video helpful in purchasing what is coming to Risk of Rain 2 soon, please like and subscribe and tell me your thoughts on the game. Are you as excited as I am? Let me know. Alright, I think I've talked long enough. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you later. Bye.